The Spiro Bulldogs haven't just beaten their opponents this year, they've thoroughly dominated just about every one of them. Averaging better than 37 points a game, the Dogs have raced out to an 8-0 record, including a perfect 3-for-3 against Class 4A schools. Success of this magnitude may come as a surprise to many, especially with a host of players from last year's 10-2 state quarterfinal team gone. But the Dogs attribute much of their winning ways this season to a bonding or togetherness that they have. They're practically like family.
We kind of like it like that, too, kind of, sort of, so it's like a little family around here. We all love each other and get along real good.
And being family is just a whole dream come true. Any of the teams would love to have family on the team and be leaders like we are right now.
Not only are the Dogs a family in a figurative sense, but in Spiro there are also some true bloodlines running through the team. Take Brian and C.J. Steele. The cousins have accounted for more than 25 Bulldog touchdowns. Brian on the ground and C.J. on the receiving end. But it doesn't stop there. Sophomore quarterback Chris Massey has taken over for brother Lavelle this season and is a big reason why the Dogs are ranked 3rd in Oklahoma's Class 3A.
We feel like Chris has learned a lot from his big brother. Lavelle, we felt as coaches that he probably could have played some last year if we'd had a chance of playing him.
Spiro's success this season has triggered lofty goals and expectations in Bulldog country. Most teams wouldn't even address the possibilities of winning a state title during the regular season, but that's all these guys think about.
We talk about it every day in the locker room, being a state championship team.
That's what my dream is right there. That's everybody's dream on this football team.
Well, our goals at the beginning of the year was to try to get that gold ball, and it's not like you're looking forward to looking ahead. We know we got to go through certain teams to get there, and hey, our goal is to win the gold ball right now.
Now, when you're 8-0 and ranked 3rd in the state naturally, you become the talk of the town. Here in Spiro, that talk is even spread to the grocery store, where the hometown Bulldogs are featured on a box of cereal called, fittingly enough, Hometown Stars. And who knows, if Spiro can bring home that golden football, maybe this will become the next Breakfast of Champions. Guy, we never had a cereal from my golf team in high school.
Maybe he didn't deserve it. Thank you, John.
The battle for Class 3A supremacy. The Dogs came out fired up in this one, but unfortunately for them, so did Seminole. The Chieftains light up the board first when Xavier Louis gets in from 2 yards out to make it 7-0 Seminole. The fans going nuts. Then Spiro quarterback Chris Massey is picked off in the end zone by Jared Reese, and he is gone the other way. He runs it all the way back. A 14-point swing right there. The Chieftains take a lead of 14-0 at that time. And the Spiro cheerleaders are trying to rally their troops, and they would respond. Chris Massey fakes the handoff to the right, gives it to C.J. Steele, and C.J. wash, rinse, and spins his way into the end zone, cutting the lead to 21-6. At last report, Seminole led it 31-21. That game is in the 4th quarter.
Spiro down by 11, really just playing for pride right now. The Seminole Chieftains in control, leading 38-27 with 8 seconds left. But let's get you up to date on what happened a little earlier on. Let's go to those highlights. And it was, how about this entrance for Spiro? We had enough pregame hype. They look more like Miami Hurricanes a little bit coming out early. But Seminole actually had the better start. Chieftain quarterback Gerard Reese finds his big tight end B.J. Roberson for a big gain down to the 3. Seminole punched it in from there and went on to take a 14-0 lead before a little trickery. A halfback reverse quickly turns into a halfback pass as Brian Modelmog hits Jason Sanders in the back of the end zone for another score. That inspires the Seminole faithful. Don't adjust your sets. It's 21-0 in the 1st quarter. Bulldogs finally get something going in the 2nd. C.J. Steele has a run-pass option. He decides to keep it. Look at this move. A nice 360. And Steele is in the end zone. It's 21-6 at the half, and Spiro looking good early in the 3rd. Chris Massey rolling, looking for 5'8", 145-pound Chris Tobler. He finds him good for a 29-yard score. That cuts Seminole's lead to 11 at 24-13. But Reese comes right back and completes a long pass to Jared Sutton underneath for a 59-yard touchdown pass, and that really breaks Spiro's back. And now the game is just ending. The final is 38-27 as the Seminole Chieftains hold on to beat Spiro. Mike?
All right, Mark, thanks very much. 38-27. Bulldogs on the home turf against Casha Hall in Class 3A action. Let's check out some of the action in this one, and we will see some Terry. Well, let me see here. Terry, back up just a little bit on the video. 2nd and goal from the Commandos score there. And then the fake PAT, and it's 6-0 Casha Hall. This action at Spiro tonight at Bulldog Field. Spiro coaches shouting instructions. Bulldog quarterback Chris Messi now goes to his right, rambles 60 yards for a Spiro touchdown. The point after was good, and Spiro would lead in this one by a score of 7-6. The Commandos now would punt, and we'll watch as C.J. Steele fields the punt, and a good return by Steele right here as he takes it left and dodges a couple of blockers. Some nice juking inside there before he is finally brought down. Watch now as Chris Massey again decides to go to his left. He gets past 3 tacklers, goes 26 yards for the Bulldogs score. The point after good, 14-6 Bulldogs at this point. And the Spiro faithful sounding the horns there. Here's Massey again rolling left. He will cut back to his right as he gets away right there and hits C.J. Steele for a Bulldog touchdown, if you can believe that. The point after was good. Spiro led it 21-6 at the half. Let's go to the scoreboard and show you 41-20. The Spiro Bulldogs win it over Casha Hall. Tahlequah, Sequoia, Tulsa.
Well, the Spiro Bulldogs were in Tulsa yesterday to see if they couldn't get a little payback against Seminole. The Bulldogs fell to the Chieftains in Week 9 of the regular season, and yesterday the two clubs would hook up for the Oklahoma Class 3A state title and the coveted gold ball. Out to Union High School we go for the battle. And the Dogs busting out early. On the first possession of the play, Chris Massey gives to Brian Steele, who finds lots of daylight up the middle, and it's a foot race to the end zone that Steele's going to win. 61 yards for the touchdown, 7-0 Bulldogs. Then after a second Seminole turnover, Spiro strikes Patert again when Massey rolls left and throws back to his right to a wide-open Steele, who jogs into the zone. 13-0 Spiro. Still in the first. Chieftains get on the board when quarterback Jared Reese calls his own number on the draw and pays for the 6, but it's 13-7. Late in the quarter, Massey again to the air, this time to C.J. Steele, who makes the nice grab in the corner of the zone. Spiro up big at the break, 26-7. But in the second half, Seminole takes control when Rion Louis dashes right up the middle, 15 yards to Patert. Seminole outscores Spiro 20-0 in the second half to win a wild one, 27-26. The Chieftains are the Class 3A Oklahoma State champions for 96. Spiro finishes the season with a 12-2 record, both losses coming at the hands of the Chieftains.
Black Diamond cheerleaders doing their parts. In the second quarter, Spiro quarterback Chris Massey tosses one to C.J. Steele, and that's good for a first down for the Dogs. Then it's Massey again. This time, Massey's going to hit Chris Tobler for another first down. The Dogs had a 14-0 lead in this game. Salisa would get on the board, though. Luke Wells pitches it back to Josh Brackett, and he's going to throw the touchdown back to the quarterback Wells. 14-6 Spiro, though, at the half. Spiro wins this one 35-16. Tonight, Spiro hoping 7 is a lucky number as 2 and 4 Stigler rolls into town. The Hogs, or the Dogs, I should say, were barking it up for this one. One good-time rivalry. On the first offensive play of the game for Spiro, just give it to Brian Steele and watch him go. He gets face mask, keeps going, and Steele is gone. 75 yards for touchdown number 15 on the season. It's 7-0 Bulldogs. Brian says it's just too easy. Still in the first, Steele again. Slicing through traffic, he goes 26 more yards for another score. So let's see, 2 carries, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nice average. Then on 3rd and goal from the 2, you give it to number 5, right? No. Chris Massey spreading the wealth, hits Chris Tobler in the back of the end zone. 20-0 Dogs in the first quarter. They go on to hammer Stigler 41-8.
So we take you to Spiro Stadium for this ball game. Chris Massey is going to get the ball to Brian Steele. Steele will get his first touchdown of the evening, and that makes it 13-0 Spiro early in the first quarter. Later, Steele. This time it goes 51 yards for his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, and at this point, Spiro leads it 30-0 early in the 3rd period. Now then, Chris Massey is going to find Chris Tobler, and Tobler goes all the way to the 1-yard line. Chad Cox is going to score on the next play here. And Spiro enjoying this one tonight, as are the Spiro cheerleaders. Let's check the scoreboard for you. And the Bulldogs win it 50-0 over Hearne tonight. Spiro Bulldogs coming onto the field, and they were fired up for this one tonight against the Ironheads. And Spiro goes to the air early, 40-yard pass that Chris Tobler is going to grab for the first score of the ball game. And Spiro leads it by a score of 6-0. Bulldog doing a little dancing there and enjoying the evening once again. Spiro wants to go to the air. This time, Brad Lovell will pick it off and make it a 14-0 score at the halftime. Let's go to the scoreboard now and show you. Spiro 25-6 over Eufaula. Poto beat Hugo by a score of 38-7. Shakota playing Sallisaw, ranked 4th in Oklahoma. 21-0 over Shakota is Sallisaw.
Spiro will follow right out of the District 4 driver's seat. To the dog pound we take you. First quarter, Spiro playing a little long ball. Chris Massey escapes pressure, and on the run, he just flicks it downfield, and we'll catch up with Chris Tobler in the end zone for the touchdown. It's 6-0 Bulldogs. Then more Spiro. Look at those eyes. Massey again rolling, looking, and firing. A strike to Brad Lavelle for the score. Spiro up 14-0 with the 2-pointer. The Bulldogs go on to win this one 25-6. Red ball against Collinsville. First quarter, what's this? Collinsville on the doorstep. Brad Benham punches it in to tie it up at 7. But Spiro has plenty of weapons in its arsenal. Tariq Abdullah making it look easy. 50 yards to Paydert, giving the Bulldogs a 14-7 lead. And yeah, Tariq on fire. Second quarter, more Dogs. Brian Steele this time drives the pile into the end zone for 6. 21-7 Spiro in this game. Let's go to the scoreboard. Spiro big over Collinsville, 49-21. No